Hey, it's Chase from Sorcery Contested Realm, and today we're talking about Sorcery Organized play for 2026. Now, we've been building Sorcery Organized play around a simple idea, that every level of play should draw a bigger circle around the table. We didn't want to build something where the only thing that mattered is who ends up at the top. Because as a team, we've always cared more about the stories people walk away with than the standings. And that's just who we are. We truly believe sorcery is at its best when it's about the shared experience. And last year, you all showed us what that looks like in practice. We had over 1,800 players participating in 150 Cornerstone events around the world. And that's not just a statistic to us. That's 1,800 people walking into a store, sitting down and discovering that the sorcery communities are exactly what we always hoped they'd be. So to all of you who continue to welcome people into the realm and to represent that spirit of our community, thank you genuinely. But before I get into the news, I want to spend another second here talking about the pillars we're building this organized play program around, because I think it's important to say them out loud. Sorcery Organized play is built around three things: creativity, mastery, and wonder. So creativity, because sorcery is at its best when you feel free to experiment, right? That what-if feeling when you're browsing cards and a wild deck idea pops into your head. Mastery, because there's something deeply satisfying about coming back each week a little sharper than before. You might not be the best player, but through play, you get better, and good competition makes that creativity hit harder, and it makes that wonder feel earned. And then wonder. These are for the moments that you retell, and sorcery's full of them. That might look like rolling boulders, it might look like squeakers and boars, or maybe it's an Eric's Curiosa ripped at exactly the right moment. Those are the stories that outlast the result, and that's what we're building towards at every level of play. And so organized play is our way to connect even more people with those three things. And that all starts with stores. So now, sorcery's always been a kitchen table game at heart, and some of the best games I've ever heard about happened in somebody's living room, and that's not going away. But if you want to find your people, if you want to walk into a room and immediately find 5 new players to play, or 5 new trading partners, or 5 future friends, that's what a store makes possible. So if you run a game store, here's what we want you to know. You're the foundation of all of this. So every sorcery community that grows beyond the kitchen table does it through a store like you. And we want to make that as easy for you as possible. So you get on the Play Network, you can run events, you can earn dust, but now we've got the Gothic Store Kit to help you make that first step. It gives you the prizes and materials you need to run some sorcery events and grow your local community around the game. And this kit is built to make your store feel like a sorcery destination. You've got a Sea of Ash 2-player playmat for your table. We got Flaming Skull, alternative art playmats, and promos for your players, and a special Flaming Skull foil for your event winner, and of course, a foil swap promo so you can celebrate your community champions. That's our way of joining you and sharing thanks to the individuals and communities that go the extra mile. There are 2 draft kits in there as well to support draft and sealed events, and 2 double-sided posters so that your store walls can show off the kind of hand-painted art that makes people stop and ask, hey, what game is this? So each Gothic Store Kit is designed for 8 players, and if your community is bigger than that, it's a good problem to have, we can add kits to make sure everyone at your table is covered. So just go to sorcery.com/organizedplay to find out how to get kits allocated to your store. Now, once you've got some events firing at your store using the Play Network, well, then the next step is to qualify for a Cornerstone Championship, right? So just by running events, you'll be working towards that. So what is a Cornerstone Championship? Well, that's your store's annual celebration of sorcery. It's not just a tournament, but it's a moment to gather everyone who's been showing up all year. The regulars, the new faces, the players who drove an hour because your store's the closest one running events. And you get to say, hey, this is what we built together, and celebrate that. Cornerstone kits include a foil alternate art Den of Evil painted by Kyle Callazans for your event winner, plus 8 Den of Evil participation prizes, so every player walks away with something. There's a foil community champion promo featuring the alternative art of Drew Tucker, and courtesy of Alan Pollock, there's an alternate art Cranky Overseer foil for your event judge. We know it's a lot to give up a playing slot just to make sure that everyone else is having a great experience, so this is our way of saying thank you to the people who step into the judge role. These kits are scalable, and we'll make sure your store gets the right amount for your community size. So applications are open for these kits, and there's a link to apply on the Organized Play page. Now, if you hosted a Cornerstone event last year, well, I've got good news for you. You're already pre-approved for this year. We see you, we appreciate you. We're not gonna make you jump through any extra hoops. Applications are open. We want stores all over the world hosting these events, and we wanna support you in making these events as special as possible. So for players, The next part's simple, but it matters more than anything else I'm gonna say today. If you're already showing up to your local store, thank you. And I'd ask one big thing. When someone new sits down across from you, remember what it felt like the first time you played Sorcery with someone and be that person for them. The spirit of organized play in 2026 is expanding our circles, and that means welcoming people into it. And if you've been playing at home, at the kitchen table with the same group, I get it, that's a great way to play Sorcery. And when you're ready, there are people in your area who might love to play Sorcery with you. New people are discovering Sorcery every day, and you might be the community that they're looking for. Okay, so with that being said, let's get on to the news. Now, we've been talking about Sorcery's growing event footprint for a while, and today we get to make it real. We are thrilled to announce Grand Contests, our new regional championship tier. Now, Grand Contests are where the circles from different local communities overlap, and where mastery gets tested on a much bigger stage. And that's where the stories you've been building up at your local store, well, that's where you get to go and share them even wider. So in addition to being able to connect with sorcerers from across the realm, we've got some pretty special Grand Contest prizes here. And let's go through some of them now. So we've got the foil alternate art silver bullet for top finishers, as well as non-foil alternative art versions for top placement. We got foil cranky overseers for the judges who lend their time and expertise. And we've got foil swap community champion promos, as well as croaking swamp alternative arts for event participants. Now these have that art by Kyle Calzin. If you haven't checked out the time lapse of the creation of this piece yet, you don't want to miss it. So starting with SCG Con Washington, DC, we will have grand contests at every SCG Con in the US this year. And in that community spirit, you don't need to qualify. Anyone can show up and play at a grand contest. And that's just in the US. We are actively working with partners across Canada, Europe, Asia Pacific to host grand contests in those regions as well. And specifically in Europe, we're pleased to announce that Sorcery Fest in July, hosted by the Trolls of the Realm, will be a grand contest event. And you can expect great things again this year from the White Rabbit team, as well as from our friends, the Sorcerers of the Core. And we're just getting started. We'll have more announcements on grand contests around the world coming up. So now you might be wondering, well, where does all of this lead? What's at the top of this year? Well, I'm gonna say this, we're not quite ready to talk about the Avatar of the Realm in detail, but I can tell you it's the global culmination of everything we're building here. We'll have more to share on that soon, so keep your eyes open. But for now, get to your store, find your people, play some sorcery, and these circles keep growing and we're bringing people in. So there's always room at the table for one more, and until next time, best of luck contesting the realm.